Okay, guys, I've got something new today. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, I want to make this a little series, but we already know how well series do on this channel. But let's get into the video. So, as you know, the Battle Frontier is the ultimate endgame challenge in the Pokemon games. These facilities challenges range from difficult to downright absurd. And as you know, what we do on this channel is downright absurd challenges. So the facility we're going to be going up against today is the Battle Hall. Now, if you didn't already know, the Battle Hall is a facility where you enter 1 or 2 Pokemon and go either 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 against a Pokemon of a certain type of your choosing. The Pokemon get progressively more difficult as your streak increases, some of them being completely set up to counter exactly what you've come prepared with. I have chosen an elite specimen to represent us in the Battle Hall today. In fact, this fisherman gave me the idea. This level 20 Magikarp that I have just caught is the elite specimen. Now, it turns out it has outstanding potential, which is good. I'm not a Smogon competitive dweeb, so I wasn't sure what would be the best setup for Magikarp for the haul. Considering Magikarp has access to exactly 4 moves, the moveset was quite obvious. However, it turns out that you actually need 32 battle points in order to teach Magikarp possibly its most useful move, Bounce. I didn't have the battle points at the beginning, so the first couple of attempts are actually only with Tackle, Flail, and Splash. In terms of stats, I decided that I'd max out Magikarp's attack and speed and throw a Focus Sash on it. Again, I'm not a competitive battler, I'm an idiot with a lot of time on my hands. The idea is that Focus Sash will activate, leaving us on 1 health, thus enabling Magikarp to decimate its opponents with Flail the next turn. Kind of similar to Fear Strategy, except obviously the Focus Sash instead of Endeavor, and Flail instead of Quick Attack. Now, Magikarp is level 30 because it turns out that is actually the minimum level for the haul, but here are its stats. As you can imagine, they are garbage. Despite all this, we begin the challenge without Bounce. I start the streak against the first 3 electric Pokemon. Pokemon in the Battle Hall are at their weakest at the very start of the streak, so it's ideal to get some quick wins against Pokemon you'll have no chance against later in the streak. Unfortunately for us, our red hot start ends with Flaffy. In fact, if we don't run into Flaffy or Magnemite, we're golden. Due to obvious reasons, I decide to stay as far away as possible from the following types: Rock, Steel, and at the moment, Ghost until we get Bounce. Our first actual streak goes really well. We ended up getting to 21 until this Tailo decides to kamikaze the entire run. Our next attempt is destroyed at 16 by a critical hit flamethrower, which obviously I am not happy about, and still to this day am not. We run into a Beldum at 12, which makes me question why I'm even doing this challenge. A Stunky finishes off at 15, a Snubbull decides to charm us out of another 15 streak, and Future Sight actually causes us to lose a 13 streak. But everything was about to change, for I had finally acquired enough battle points to teach Magikarp Bounce. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, it was on. We were blazing through the ranks of the Battle Hall because Bounce is super useful at clearing grass, fighting, and bug types. However, we lose to a Parasect that nails a Spore after we miss a Bounce. It does have 85% accuracy after all. However, we finally willed our way past that Flaffy. This battle was an absolute emotional rollercoaster, as you can tell. Bounce causes paralysis, but Flaffy's flash spam causes us to constantly miss, until we land that sweet, sweet blow. Only to get knocked out by a critical hit Bone Meringue. This one was poor play on my behalf, to be honest. I knew I was out of range of Flail being stronger than Tackle, and decided to use it anyways. I finally managed to claw into the 30s, only to be spit back out by this Gulpin. Haha, get it? Lol. We return only for Gloom, a seemingly free opponent, to survive a bounce and poison us, ending our 35 streak. The battles were rough and intense from here on in. I narrowly survived this Shroomish, despite being hit with Effect Spore twice in a row, only to lose to a Lileep on a 27 streak. Our luck with the higher ranked electric Pokemon comes to an end when I encounter this Rotom at rank 7. In fact, we set our largest streak so far, only for us to lose at 45 to this Omanyte. This Ditto gives us a serious run for our money, but it decides to use Splash. A choice so dumb that not even I have decided to do it yet. We get dumped out by a Macargo. Basically anything with a half rock typing destroys us. Every single time we were thrown out due to a half rock type Pokemon or a missed bounce, we grew stronger and wiser. Eventually we put it all together and went on an absolutely flawless 49 win streak. So flawless that I'm pretty sure Bounce paralyzed about 60% of the times it landed. The RNG was on our side, and I prayed that it would stay on our side with our battle against Argenta, the Hall Matron. Tension was high, the suspense was building in preparation for this massive battle. Couldn't Magikarp seriously earn The silver print. Argenta sent out an old enemy. The Pokemon that ended our very first big streak by eliminating itself. A Pokemon we had grown to despise, despite the fact that we were never getting past 30 without Bounce. Taillow. I used Bounce on the first turn, hoping that it would continue its good form of paralyzing our opponent. Bounce misses. Air Slash decimates our Magikarp. Our streak falls short at 49. The team is emotionally distressed. So distressed that I go and battle against another ghost type. Ghastly's Astonish nullifies our Focus Sash, and whilst Bounce misses, Shadow Ball finishes Magikarp off. Seriously, the Battle AI does this a lot to counter the Focus Sash. I just hope it's on purpose, because it would be so much more infuriating if the game was just blind countering our strategy. I have another moment against an electric type where I opt to use Bounce instead of Flail despite being on 1 health, and it doesn't go well for us. Flail has 200 power when your Pokemon has under 4% of its maximum health, meaning that Magikarp packs a serious punch under 2 health points. In fact, Flail actually does more damage than Bounce when Magikarp has 12 or less health. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I made the wrong choice a couple times now that I really look at the numbers. But, wrong choices aside, we get extremely lucky against this Stunky. Throughout my attempts, I've noticed that Aftermath does exactly 15 health. So you can imagine how my eyes lit up when I saw Magikarp was left with 16. Especially considering that that was battle 49. That's right, we get a second shot at the Hall Matron. This time, she uses a Glameow. Bounce manages to not only hit the first time, but also paralyze the opponent. We're in the driver's seat. With Glamwell paralyzed and U-turn only doing 29 damage, I feel quite confident. Bounce missed. Bounce seriously missed again. Are you kidding me? I wanted to end the episode there, I really did, but I felt like I hadn't actually achieved anything for you guys. So we went again. Argenta awaits us after battle 49, and we may get the biggest break I've ever seen. Argenta sends out a Wurmple. Magikarp and I can taste the 50 streak as I spam my A button to use Bounce over and over again. And, after many attempts, we finally get the silver print and extend the streak to 50. But, we're not done yet. We improve to 51, then 52, and then 53. Say hello to Magcargo at 54. There is very little chance of us actually being able to defeat a Flame Body Magcargo with a Magikarp that can only use physical attacks. The streak ends at 53, and I think that's enough emotional trauma for one episode of this little mini-series. My options going forward? I can level Magikarp to level 100. The difference, in my opinion, is marginal, but it's probably worth it. For example, the first battle would have the Pokemon at level 70. Which is 30 levels below Magikarp as opposed to the 15 currently. Mathematically, this would probably give Magikarp a slight advantage given how terrible Magikarp's base stats are. However, I'm not 100% sure. I could also change the Magikarp I use, either by running a different item or redistributing its stats. I don't think putting 252 EVs on its already woeful base attack is much of a difference, to be completely honest. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. We're doing this together. Realistically, going for gold isn't possible. However, I think we might be able to get into the 70s at our absolute best. Also, if you want to see me try it with different Pokemon, I've already got plans to do it with a Smeargle. That one's going to be very good. Stay on the edge of your seats for that one, because I'm excited about it. But yeah, no, leave a comment if you enjoyed. There are some videos on the screen. You might enjoy those too. I'll see you guys next time. Have fun.